boy again. Hello.
Here he is. Just on time. Hola.
So we're live now to the other platforms. Let me confirm that the audio is working. I have a little bit of delay here. All right, we're working.
Yes. Hi. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday night live unboxing show.
Welcome, everybody.
This is going to be a nice, easy coasting show.
Yes, indeed. As you can see, it's just Ryan and me. Hello.
So we're going to chit-chat and without any interruptions.
Indeed. And not a big week, you said.
And it's a very light week. So we'll go through the... Taste the Rockies, bro. It wasn't going to take long. Shotgun the beer. No, I'm not going to do that, sir.
That's for a special sale occasion, not today.
I am not a performing monkey.
Dance for me, Ryan. Dance. Although I did get you to
You've
dance.
seen me shotgun enough beers, JR. You know that I have no problem.
I did get you to dance in one of the streams once. It was great. So we are live right now, Ryan. We're live to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
Nice.
And we got all the information for your store there on the screen. So if anyone wants to contact us, there's the email and there's all the stuff. And looks like we're doing good. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. I took advantage of the lighter load this week and got some other stuff done. The walls are all set up, ready to go. So which is nice. I usually have to do that stuff after the show. So I'm going to go home and maybe read some comic books. And I have a lot of emails to catch up on. If you are watching the show and you have an email and I haven't gotten back to you yet, I'm going to try to do that either tonight or tomorrow morning. I am sorry about that. I'd let my emails get pretty backed up.
Did you sell out Not All Robots?
I did.
I was going to show it on screen.
I can't because they're gone. Yeah, so it's, it started rough. Got no internet this morning.
What? Why?
I don't know. But I think what happened was she's never going to admit it. But there was something actually wrong with the internet. And then when I went to call to troubleshoot it, and I think Annie, in her attempts to try to help, was unplug things and plug them back in again. I think she unplugged the Ethernet cord and plugged it into a place where she wasn't supposed to.
Oh, no, Annie.
So that's fine. I figured it out, but I was pretty angry at everyone. No internet and no beer make Ryan something.
That's like pre whatever world. How can you survive without internet?
It's funny. You're right. Everybody should be able to, but when you're so reliant on it at this point, I can't even I can't do a credit card transaction. I can't even find out what books I have on order. How am I going to help Derek? Ryan, is this book coming? Is this book on order?
Did I buy this one yet? So we have Craig who says, hi, Pulp Fiction family. Monique who says, hi. Ruben says, hi, guys. Louise says, hi, guys. You guys can't repeat yourselves. So real quick, before you get to the most important business of the day, I was a good boy and actually read all the comics last week. And this was my pick of the week, Ryan.
That was a fantastic read.
Which will go swimmingly well together with the movie we're about to talk about in a second.
Yeah, it's actually... I'm kind of dumb because somebody was asking for Suicide Squad things, and I think I forgot about that one.
And then these were both exceptionally good as well. I wanted to show Not All Robots, but this one was your pick of the week. Which one am I holding? No, this one. This one was your pick of the week, and man,
great book.
Loved it. Very atmospheric. This was Eddie's pick of the week, and it was really, really good as well. I'm excited about the second issue. It's about an exorcism, and the guy who gets exorcised retains the powers of the demon. And then Steven's pick of the week, you said you sold out of, was it called Not All Robots?
Not All Robots.
And man, that was a great art, great commentary. I just loved it. So strong week last week.
Yeah, really good week last week. We have some good books this week, but it's definitely lighter. But I had some stuff that I really enjoyed, and we'll talk about them.
So before I ask you about Free Comic Book Day, I'm going to start sharing some stuff here. Is there any store business or anything you want to cover?
Other than Free Comic Book Day, want to remind everybody I'm going to start kicking into high gear very soon on our Stray Dogs Tony Fleece signing. Can confirm he's going to be there. And I confirmed a couple other things as well. There's some other things I'm trying to put together, and I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to really, really, really push that event. So I have about 50 copies of the trade paperback coming.
That's on the 15th, right? That comes out?
Yes. Well, that week, whatever the Wednesday
Yeah.
is before the 18th.
I know. I just know because I just posted about it.
Okay, thanks. We'll have them for 30% off, like we normally do. And I have a ton of copies of blank covers, and it looks like we have a lot of leftover copies of the last round of printings on issues 1 through 5. I'm probably going to leave those up for just this week, and then whatever's left over, I'm going to box up and save for the signing. So,
can you remind me again what those were? That's Bram Stoker's Dracula 28 Days Later edition. What was the Lightning one again?
That's The Craft.
The Craft. I forgot about that. And then the other the what printing is out of the issue 5? That's
the second printing. It's not an homage.
Okay.
The second printings they would always do were in that style. They were kind of like just focused on a particular dog.
Got it. But the other ones are what, 4th printings or something? That's
something
crazy.
like that. I think the first issue is a 4th or 5th printing.
That's awesome.
I can't keep up, but it's a big success. Again, congratulations to Tony. I'm excited to tell him in person.
Craig says, show us the sexy one. Which one was the sexy one? Ruben says, Grumpy Pants Ryan. He's actually not that grumpy today.
I'm pretty mellow today.
Yeah, pretty
Grumpy
limber.
Pants this morning.
Miguel says, what's up, people? What comics is Ryan going to show us? Take our money today. We like that.
Take it tomorrow.
Someone did ask on one of the posts I did regarding the Tony Fleece signing. They wanted to know what time. I'm sure you don't have a specific time.
I will get back to everyone then, and I will make an official announcement. Everything we've been saying so far has just been kind of like, hey, it's coming. But I got to touch base with him specifically to get some details about what he wants to do and how long he wants to be here. I'll have details by the end of the week.
Cool. Perfect. I figured that was the answer. So yeah, that's going to be exciting. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope people come up for it. I'm really excited. We'll see how it goes.
Nice. All right, so let me ask you about Free Comic Book Day. What is that? Pretend I don't know anything about it.
Free Comic Book Day is a special comic book retail holiday that typically happens once a year, unless there's a global pandemic happening. It's always the first Saturday in May, unless there's a global pandemic happening. We still technically had a Free Comic Book Day in 2019. 2020. Because everything started shutting down not long before that. So they'd already printed all of that stuff. Right. You said pretend like you don't know. All of the publishers, most of the publishers, a lot of publishers will make a comic book special to be given away at comic book shops on Free Comic Book Day. We pay for them, but we pay very little money for them. And the whole point of it is to try to generate interest in the direct market in comic book retail stores. And it's pretty cool. It's usually our busiest day of the year. And anecdotally, I know a lot of our customers, their first time in a comic shop may have been one of our Free Comic Book Day events. Now, what we do, everybody does it different. All stores do it different. We do a food drive. We've been doing a food drive for years. Lately, we've been coordinating with the Long Beach Rescue Mission. I forgot there was a camera in front of me. I should start looking at it, make eye contact with people.
Yeah, 2 cameras in front of you, pal.
That's right. So we're coordinating with the Long Beach Rescue Mission. The way this works, a lot of you have done this already, but in case this is your first rodeo, you want to bring non-perishable food items. Everybody gets one free comic book just for showing up. If you're a family of 5,
just for being here,
you get 5 comic books, one for everybody. But if you bring non-perishable food goods or cash donations for the Long Beach Rescue Mission, you get more. And we're gonna have a lot to give away. And I'm generous. I'm probably a lot more generous than the former owner. I don't want to have anything left over when we're done.
You can donate it to the school.
I probably will. But if you're Mike, you put it in a box and you go, next Free Comic Book Day. No. What else will be? Does that answer your question? Was that a good summation of what Free Comic Book Day is?
I think some people who are new to the game are just like, what is it? Why is it a thing? It's just, how many years now? Over 20?
It's just been going a long time.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like the industry-wide tradition. Some people dress up. Some people go to multiple shops. Some people bring their kids. A lot of kids, actually. A lot of and it's just kind of like a fun, great atmosphere event. And it's just a fun tradition in the industry. And like Ryan said, there's a lot of people who become new readers that day. So that's always
we're focused
exciting.
on the newbies.
Yeah.
Right. There's these people that maybe have never set foot in a comic book store before. It's your opportunity to show them that it's cool, that it's special, and to not wait until next Free Comic Book Day to come back and visit you. Which I'm pretty good at doing, I think. So I look forward to it. One thing that will be different, if for those of you that have done free comic book days with us before, we're not going to do any of the letting 10 people in at a time or doing the ticket thing. And then, everything's just going to be outside for, I think, a lot of reasons that are apparent. But we'll have a big old tent, keep everybody out of the sun. We probably will have to have a long line. I think what we're going to do is stretch the line towards Terminal. Depending on, I don't know, because this is our first free comic book day that we've had here since we've moved to this location. So it could be a ridiculous turnout. It could be a very little turnout. I'm not totally certain.
We did some sidewalk sales before everything hit the fan.
Yeah.
And there was crowds outside there, but yeah, this should be interesting.
So that reminds me, I do need to go talk to the landlord and maybe the Zaffaria folks and just make sure that they understand that we're going to have probably a lot of people here.
This would be something you and I talk about off camera, but I think it'd be a great opportunity to get some more of the community involved. Maybe get some press down here. And
sure, I'm too busy to ever think about that kind of stuff, but that's a good idea.
Luis Molina says, "Don't be that person who thinks that every comic in the shop is free." Yes, for folks who aren't comic book shoppers. Sometimes they think free comic book day, that means everything in the store is free. It's like, no, it's specific items.
Not quite. By the way, both Cody and Matt here are bringing up some interesting points. If you're a Pulp customer, you don't have to. You're special. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have. We'd love to see your smiling faces if you want to come here on Saturday and visit us, but that's not necessary. In the last newsletter I sent out, I had a link and I showed everybody how to, and a lot of you took advantage of that, how to go and actually use Pullbox to make requests for the specific free comic book days, free comic book day books that you want. So if you didn't see that newsletter, check your inbox. If you're not getting the newsletter, that's a separate issue that we'll have to see if we can rectify. But if you go to, in a nutshell, if you go to freecomicbookday.com/catalog, and that will show you all of the different books. Now, I got most of them. I don't think I got every single one of them, but I got just about all of them. And anything that you see that you like, all of them have item codes that start with a month. I don't remember what the month is, but it's pretty obvious. It's like a 7 or 9 digit code. If you copy and paste that into the previous World Search field, that'll bring it up in a place where you can actually order it. And then that'll make me and Annie's life easier when we start going through them all and putting them aside for people. We can just use the system to do that. But I did see a lot of people emailed as well, including Cody. Yes, there's a lot of emails. I will get to them as soon as I can. I'm probably going to, if I don't get to them tonight, I will get to them tomorrow morning. But anyway, that is to say, if you're a Pulp customer, just ask us for the books. We'll make sure you can get them. As long as you're not ridiculous and you're like, oh, I want 20 copies of everything. How many cans with all of the free comic books? Everybody always wants like a specific thing. Just search your heart for, what you have, and come, and we'll see what we can do. We'll take care of it.
Of all years, I said this last week, of all years, this would be a great year to be different. Helping folks out. Folks who have issues with getting their next meal. So the help that Pulpit family can provide is a very good thing. Also celebrate the industry.
Don't bring dog food. It's happened before.
Yes.
Don't be that person.
Non-perishable cans. Ruben says, except for DC books, right? I think he's being facetious.
The rest of them I have are tucked away in boxes, but I just happen to have these here. In case you were wondering, even though Free Comic Day is technically a Diamond distributor event, there are Free Comic Day books from DC that I did procure, quite a few of them. They're mostly focused on young adult kid stuff, kids line, and whatnot.
Louis says you should give away a free pipe for every Superman comic you sell.
One per show.
Suicide Squad, which we talked about in the Suicide Squad trailer. Bloodshot. Bloodsport. I'm combining Deadshot and Bloodsport. Bloodsport is said to have put Superman in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet. It wasn't a pipe. Eddie Lagana, Ryan's grumpy. Craig says
Eddie, come get your books, man. You got a bunch. Now I'm grumpy. Congratulations, you did it.
And whose audio? My audio or Ryan's? Or both? Ryan, check your.
More than it can be.
Audio has a lot of stats.
So that's about it. Anyway, we're gonna have everything outside. So if you can come inside if you want, obviously, but nobody has to. You want to roll up, drop off your food items, on your way. Totally fine. Yeah, it's gonna be a big question mark. I have no idea. There, I guess. I have a collection that's in our van right now that has good stuff in it. So if I have the time, I'm dedicating most of my Thursday to cleaning up the shop and making sure we're seaworthy for Free Comic Book Day. And if I have time, I'll price some of those stuff out and I'll put them up. I'll put them up top. And I'm not going to post them on social media. You got to come in if you want to see that stuff first. You gotta come here on Saturday. But it's not going to be a ton. It'll just be a few. I over ordered Wonder Woman Dead Earth. Not that I'm sad about that because it's an amazing book. But I think we got our wires crossed about how many we had already on order and then ordered more. So I'm probably going to put those on sale for maybe half off. I got a bunch. So if you've been looking to introduce a little Wonder Woman Dead Earth into your life, that's one thing that you can come in and grab. And I might, yeah, no, that's about it. Because I'm trying not to have like 10 billion people here inside the shop, if we're being honest. Even if everybody's all masked up and stuff, I don't know. We'll see. How am I still spinning my wheels? I'll keep spinning my wheels. What else is going on? So some of you saw the Instagram post where I did a little tease of our storage unit. Thumbs up means we're okay. What does that mean? Thumbs up. Just keep going. What are you doing?
Yeah, you sound better. I'm not. I think it was getting interference. I'm not sure because everything's hardwired, so I'm not sure what that was. Adam says Wonder Woman Dead Earth is awesome sauce.
It is indeed the awesome sauce.
Yeah, continue to talk about what you're going to talk about next.
Okay, great.
I also want to ask about that big news.
Okay. What big news? Oh, that other stuff. Yeah. So I'm working on it, guys. I'm always working on it. Everything is a plan. It's little baby steps. Death by inches, but not that the good version of that. And I'm hoping I can start processing some back issues back in here again because I know we've been pretty dry, and it's not because we don't have them. I got to find the time. Eduardo's working out great. He's picking up things real fast. Some of you met him, talked to him. He's awesome. And that's freeing me up to do other things. And that was one of those big things, was spending a long, hot, sweaty day getting all of those shelving units together and getting boxes on top of them and stuff. So I can go in there and, have enough room to see what I'm doing. Because before, oh man, I didn't do a before after picture, but you'd have to just take my word for it. It was just a bunch of piles of boxes. So we'll get there. Maybe starting in the fall. And maybe what we'll do after Free Comic Book Day, we'll purge out a little bit of our dollar bin stuff that's been sitting in here a long time. I want to do some more marking down, make some room, and then we'll start trucking in some big fat stacks of dollar comics and other things. So it's on the way. It's coming. It's in the pipe.
Yeah, in the pipe. Just you and posting that picture got a lot of people excited.
I saw that. I'm a tease. I can't help it. I feel bad. I shouldn't, but I can't help myself. Should I keep going? Yeah. How about wow, I'm really bad at entertaining everybody today.
We'll talk about the news of the.
Yeah, I can do that. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. Hey, somebody tell me, because I've been saying it wrong all day. Some of you have undoubtedly heard about the big news about James Tynion and John Hickman and Nick Spencer and all these big writers, Scott Snyder. They're all heading over to something called it's not Subspace. I keep saying Subspace, but I don't think that's what that's called. That might be a subcategory on Pornhub. That the that's It's been a lot of chatter about it, about what it's going to mean for the industry, et cetera, et cetera. Basically, Marvel and DC Comics just kind of lost their, their big, huge, heavy hitter writers. Not all of them, and not right the second, and not all at once. But all these guys, it kind of. Derek and I were Substack. Thank you, Substack. Um, some of you, I mean, Derek and I were saying to each other that it feels a little bit like the Image thing, the Marvel walkout where McFarlane and Jim Lee and all those other guys said, you know what, we're going to go strike off on our own. It's nothing like that, but it is somewhat similar. Um, I think good for them. Hopefully it works out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically these guys, big, heavy hitters. The guys that are like moving the most amount of books off the shelves. All guys, by the way. Where are the girls at? They're heading over to something called Substack, which kind of, after reading about it, just sounds like a Patreon, basically, where it's a subscription model. So, in other words, if you want to read the next 3 hit James Tynion books right on the ground floor, you're going to have to go to Substack. You're going to have to subscribe, or they have like a yearly price, a monthly price, and then like a ground floor price that's sort of like a Kickstarter backer kind of tier thing, and you get lots of extra goodies and whatnot. And then it's digital. Now, these guys, in addition to getting paid by Substack some amount of money that's, I'm sure, undisclosed, whatever it is, more than what Marvel and DC was paying them, I'm sure. They're going to retain full licensing rights. In other words, they can still broker whatever deals they want. It's up to them to do whatever TV or movies or video games or whatever, merchandising, all that stuff, and also the publishing rights. So if they want to print that stuff, it's up to them to take it to whatever printer they want. If John Hickman does his books and then decides he likes Image, and so he does the digital stuff on Substack, then he moves his print operation over to Image Comics and lets them do that. That's up to him. So it's a pretty sweet deal if you're a creator. Doesn't really seem like there's any drawback at all, really. I will say that, nothing's been said or confirmed or anything, but I'd be very surprised if all this stuff does not go to print. I do think it eventually will go to print. It may not right away. So again, if you're dying to read the new Scott Snyder comic, you might have to I'm sorry. Scott Snyder's not doing them. Scott Snyder's doing writing lessons on Substack. Cool. And he is doing a bunch of exclusive digital content on Amazon. Which is a whole other thing. So it's kind of a little digital revolution sort of thing. It does feel a little bit like the Marvel walkout in the 90s. So I wish them all the luck in the world. I think that sounds cool. I'm probably definitely going to check it out. Again, I'm not worried about it because I'm pretty sure this stuff is eventually going to go to print. And when it does, we'll have it here in the shop. And if it doesn't, that'll be weird, because I'll tell you this. I'm sure this will be a good model for them. It might make them money. I don't know. I can't say how Substack makes money or how that works out for them, or how Patreon makes money, or how, social media platforms make money, advertisements and stuff, I'm sure. But, it seems like every couple of years, people are like, oh, the sky is falling. Digital is going to kill comic book stores and it's going to kill print media. I'm telling you, every time that happens, and then every time they come out with the reports, and look, if print sales went up 25%, and that would mean digital sales also go up 25%, it still looks like this: digital sales, print sales. I don't know if that fits in the camera. I'll go all the way to the edge. I don't know how far I can go, but digital sales, print sales. Digital sales are nowhere near close to print sales, not by a mile. So I'm not worried about it. I don't think digital's eating our lunch. If anything, I think it exposes more people to the art form, and brings them in. I think it's a better lure. It's a better net to catch people and get them into a comic book shop later, honestly.
Ruben says, wasn't that similar to CrossGen back in the late 90s as well?
I was not around for that, and I know of that, but I'm not totally certain. CrossGen, I'm assuming there was no digital content back then for CrossGen. But was this? I would actually, you know what? This is a blind spot for me. Ryan doesn't know everything. I know that there is a thing about cross-gen, but I don't actually know what it is. Maybe I'll bone up on that tonight.
CJ Sanders says, Ryan, with exclamation points, what's cracking? Which might be a joke because the audio was cracking when he said that. Or she said that. I don't know who CJ is. And then also CJ says, never. I'm not sure what never means. I pulled up the article here real quick. I won't read the whole thing, obviously, but it says, after jumping into comics early this year, Substack is entering a bigger way by signing several major creators to its platform. New York Times reported the new slate of writers includes Saladin Ahmed, Jonathan Hickman, Molly Ostertag. So there's one of your gals, Molly Ostertag, Scott Snyder, and James Tinian, with other writers and artists to be announced later in the date. As with the Substack writers, comics creators will send their work out to in a newsletter format and charge subscribers directly for their work. During the first year, they'll be paid by Substack, which will take most of the subscription revenue, but after that, the platform will only take a 10% cut. Creators will retain ownership of all materials.
It sounds great.
So Titian said, DC had presented me with a 3-year renewal deal of my exclusive contract with the intent of me working on Batman for the bulk of that time. I was grateful for that offer, but I couldn't help but look at the success of my original creator-owned titles and wonder if it might be the right choice. So what are Tinian's original titles? Wind,
Department of Truth, Something is Killing the Children. Yeah. More recently, Nice House on the Lake, because that, even though that is coming out from DC Comics, that is a creator-owned book, from what I understand. What else has he done recently? Those are the big ones.
Yeah. So
that's enough. They sell.
Looking at those, that does make sense. But Batman is, correct me if I'm wrong, is Batman still the number one DC book?
It's still the number one DC book. Yeah. Ask me if it's the number one comic book. That's different.
He's been creating a lot of interesting punchline.
Yeah, he created a whole bunch of characters for them. And DC owns all that stuff, lock, stock, and barrel. Now he's a perfect example of an IP generator. This is what comic books are for. This is where if you have the I don't even know who owns Warner Brothers in DC Comics anymore. Is it Discover? Is it AT&T? I don't know. But when they are like, what the hell is this for? It's not making any money. You go, you have a very cheap way here. This person just pumped out 30 characters for you that you can use in your films, TV shows, video games, all of this stuff. And you never know where what's gonna hit. Guardians of the Galaxy, nobody knew who the hell those were before they started making movies with them. So it's he was a superstar as far as that is concerned. You listed off like a half dozen characters, some of which have even had their own comic books, like Punchline. Whatever deal DC was offering, Substack apparently offered better. But also he's betting on himself, which is never a bad thing, and it just opens it up for somebody else to come in and do Batman.
Yeah. But he's had a good run on Batman for a while, from Joker War to Fear. What's the thing about to come out? Fear State Gotham or something?
Right. Well, he is on the book, I think, until issue 117. 117. What am I talking about? What issue are we up to right now? Do you know?
It just came out last week. It was like 111 or something.
Okay, so he might finish that out before he leaves. I think he's also on Joker until issue 14. He'll finish out, Nice House on the Lake, I'm sure. And he said he still has some little odds and ends here and there. Cody has got some info here on CrossGen. CrossGen was different in that the writers and artists were given a salary instead of being work for hire. So that's interesting. So maybe not necessarily page rate. I'd still like to know more about it, but like you're going to get paid no matter what. You don't have to worry about whether you're going to eat or not, based on how many pages you get done, I guess. In any case, this is going to be interesting to see what happens. If anything, it's neat just in the sense of it's a big opening at these big publishers for other people to step up. Who just steps up to write Batman at this point?
Such big shoes to fill.
You had John Ridley, who was supposed to right the 5G stuff before DiDio got fired and all that. Josh Williamson, I don't know.
Because before Tinian, it was
Tom King who got fired off the book,
who was doing an amazing job until City of Bane kind of underwhelmed.
Yeah.
But then he has been allowed to kind of finish part of his story in Batman Catwoman.
Right. And he still has critically acclaimed books that sell really well, like Strange Adventure and
Did Mr. Miracle before that.
Mr. Miracle, Rorschach currently. These are all still like big books for DC.
Yeah.
So maybe he steps back in. I don't know. We're going to see.
Earlier, Luis said, can you confirm or deny that the rumors that Walt Disney's frozen body is in the Pulp Fiction storage room? I think that's a no comment for sure.
What about, sorry, I was reading the comments.
That Walt Disney's frozen body is in the Pulp Fiction storage room.
Oh, it's way too hot in there to store a frozen body. You guys would all smell it. Ray says that the volume is exceptionally low, but maybe that's just on Instagram. I don't know.
That's just me.
I'm also talking very low.
Oh, yeah.
Today.
Yeah, no, yeah, we're on a different audio. That's just camera audio there. So.
Oh, I got you. So I need to enunciate for
so.
our Instagram folks. Did either of you read the Marvel article in The Guardian? No, we're all just kind of.
So as another thing I was going to talk about, a couple other comments here. CJ Sanders says, meaning digital will never replace print. That's
got it. Yes. No, I highly doubt that will ever happen.
Ruben said AT&T owns Warner Media. Yes, they still do. They are doing a profit sharing where they let Discovery buy in, but AT&T still owns the land share. So an article came out talking about how many MCU movies are there now? 25, something like that.
I don't know, a lot.
And out of the however many, forgive us for these numbers being slightly incorrect, they've made like 23 billion plus, right?
Okay.
So almost $1 billion a movie.
Yeah.
But this article was talking about how the Marvel artists or creators who are storylines are being used.
Yeah.
Get paid a flat rate, thank you rate,
right?
$5,000.
Well, legally, that's within their rights to do that, right?
Yeah. Because they already got paid to write those stories.
Yeah.
Marvel owns it.
Yeah. We're welcome to work for hire.
But of course, that's causing a PR stir in light of the ScarJo.
Yeah, I think that's awesome if that's bringing attention to that sort of thing. Like I just said, legally, there's a big difference between doing something within your legal right and being an asshole. Everybody has a right to be an asshole, but do the right thing and good karma and all that kind of stuff. Like you don't have to go bankrupt paying these folks, but it looks good. It's good PR. It's good karma. And don't you just feel like a better person at the end of the day when you take care of these folks that did these things that we love? No, I think that's cool. I mean, it's one thing if the publisher is trying to like kind of weasel out of it because comic book publishing does not make nearly as much money as Disney does on, like you mentioned, all these billions of dollars on movies. It's like, all right, guys, just wet their beak,
Yeah.
You ain't gotta make them rich men, but it'd be nice if they could go on a European vacation or something like that on the back of that. Let's see here. Ray said, any input about JT Third leaving DC? Is he headed for DC Image or something else? Oh, Ray, we just talked about that, bud. He's heading over to Substack. Oh, that's what we were talking about that, unfortunately, just before you joined. But come in the store and I'll chat you up about it. It's Substack. It's something else. It's like a digital platform meets Patreon, subscription based digital comic books. The wave of the future, maybe, but not. No, it's not. I bank on comic book stores. The industry doesn't exist without us. It really doesn't. If comic book stores go away, we'll take the industry with us. I guarantee it.
Adam Hernandez says, just take care of them. Don't be a jerky.
Yeah, don't be a jerky.
Yeah, Ed Brubaker was famously kind of vocal about, not getting into the after parties of Civil War and, people looking at him and saying like, oh, you're going to make a ton of money because your storylines are being used for this. And
that's funny. That's what Cody just said. Ed Brubaker said he went to the premiere of Winter Soldier and wasn't let in, and he had to text Sebastian Stan. Yeah. Sebastian Stan seems like a good dude. Recently, so Suicide Squad. Did you just tell me the story about the kaleidoscope? No, somebody else told me. Okay, so I'll tell you this story.
Yeah, she's the stunt actress.
Yeah. But do you know about her creation and royalties and things like that?
Yeah, talk to me
about. Oh, I couldn't remember who told me the story. Sorry, whoever did tell me the story. She was a character that was created. I don't know the whole everything. Ray probably does. But she was a character that was created just by like some DC fans. It was like I think it was like a contest or something. Yes. But whoever it was, maybe James Gunn, made sure that those guys got paid, even for just this little baby cameo for that character in that movie. So again, it's just good. It's just good karma, guys.
Yeah, that actress played a role in Aquaman as like a fish queen, and she was also in Guardians, I think. So
Yeah, yeah.
she's a cool stunt lady. But yeah, that's awesome that James Gunn is,
Yeah, I don't think he's the kind of person. I think he's the kind of person that would agree with us if he was in the room with us right now in this conversation. Ray said, quite famously, what Stan Lee said was, "Comic books are like breasts. I would rather have them in my hands."
There we go. Luis says Disney should at least let the original creators take an all expense paid trip to Disney World.
Yeah, at very least, right?
That'd be nice. Yeah, kind of a surreal thing. I went to Halloween Horror Nights with an actor who was in one of the Purge movies, and characters were dressed as him in the Purge movie, and he still had to pay to get in.
Yeah,
and like they didn't believe him at first, and he's like, "No, you're playing me." And so the actors were like, "Oh my god, let me take a picture of you" and stuff. So yeah, there's performers get a lot of special stuff, and creators get special stuff, but sometimes they're just regular people too. Okay, so that's a good bridge to the Suicide Squad.
yeah. Let's talk about Suicide Squad.
You saw it. Would you see it at home theater?
I watched it at a friend's house on their TV.
Nice.
Like a horrible person. It's hard for me to find time to get out.
And what'd you think? What were your thoughts?
I thought it was phenomenal. Loved it. It's a movie made for Ryans. The older I get, the weirder I get, and the more I enjoy weird stuff. And this is a weird movie. I can't believe some of the strangeness that made this into this giant, big budget film. And everybody knows me. I love horror and ultra violence and all that kind of stuff. So this was a blessing. I knew that James Gunn was going to do something really special with this property, and as far as I'm concerned, he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, it's something to be said about having a big time creator, write and direct it, and being able to do a rated R, and basically do what he wanted and not be screwed around with too much. Who was your favorite character?
Ooh, good question. Wow, I liked a lot of them. I mean, King Shark or Namwe. I just call him Namwe.
Get off the comm.
I really loved Ratcatcher too. I thought she was great. Polka Dot Man. I mean, come on,
so good.
Polka Dot Man,
and his
so
mom.
good. Yeah, dude.
When
I talk about this movie getting weird, that's at the epicenter.
yeah. One review I listened to was talking about how when you use some really obscure characters, you get to have more freedom to do strange and interesting character things.
Yeah. Like if these were all characters that everybody recognized, you wouldn't be able to stretch them so much.
Like the Thinker makes an offhanded comment about when he's threatened about something. He's like, "You'd be surprised," and you're like, "They couldn't have done that with a marquee,
right?
The Riddler or whatever."
Right.
CJ Sanders says, "Are you more excited about second Suicide Squad or third Guardians?" Well, that would be the third Suicide Squad, I guess. Luis says he saw Suicide Squad in theaters. Ratcatcher 2 needs her own. We're getting a lot of comments here. People blowing up about Suicide Squad. She needs her
other
own,
people are excited about it.
Show, I guess he was saying. I agree. Ratcatcher 2 was great. Polka Dot Man and Polka Dot's mom was my favorite. Ruben says Peacekeeper and King Shark for Craig. So a lot of this generation's RoboCop, so good. Robert Moreno says very, very.
Who
very
Peacemaker?
What was with that weird CGI close up of that one dude's face? The older dude. Adriana says, "I'm not sure which older dude do you mean. Let us know." I actually thought the CGI was great, and that's something I didn't make the connection of when I was watching it. But I was listening to reviews, and I was like, "Man, the Jungle Cruise the week before had such uneven CG, but the CG looked really good in Guardians. Like King Shark was great. The lighting on him was seamless. He looked very, connected to the atmospheres. The Starro villain looked great. So yeah, I mean, they did a lot of practical with this movie as well, but the polka dots, all the stuff. It just looked beautiful. It was bright and colorful. Megan and I did not love it as much as we wanted to, but we're glad that everyone else does, and we need to go back and rewatch it. Peacemaker was hilarious. Um, Flag was great. Bloodsport was great.
Yeah.
I think Harley Quinn, who we love Margot Robbie. I think her kind of side story was kind of wedged in a little bit. Sometimes it felt like they were trying to give her more to do because she's one of the top stars.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's certain characters that people die in this movie. Spoiler alert! And like I wanted to see.
I'm doing
more
really
of that
hard.
person.
Trying to do a good job of tiptoeing around.
Yeah. There's certain deaths that are heartbreaking.
Yeah.
One in particular, I'm like, no, I don't want this to happen.
Couple for me, actually.
Yeah, a couple of surprising things happen. And there are post-credit scenes, so stay after that for that. And the humor, like some of it was hilarious and hit. Some of it was kind of missed for me at times. The human villains were like nothing, completely throwaway.
I think that kind of intentionally so. Don't upstage your crew.
So Sorio is the name of the woman freedom fighter.
Uh-huh.
And there's a whole scene where our heroes are going into the freedom fighter camp. Amazing. That scene was incredible. But she had her own posters, and she was made out to be a main character. She's like in 2 scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
So they really underplay. And there are people like predicting like, oh, she's so-and-so and whatever.
Well,
they really underplayed.
There's some stuff in there that, again, I'm not like here to, the director's cut, release the James Gunn cut or whatever.
This is the James Gunn cut.
I know. So, but I'm just saying there's some stuff that's strange. There's something that happens with a big aviary full of parrots that just happens for really no reason at all.
There's a lot of bird hate in this movie, even from the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah. And I thought that scene would be there to motivate Harley maybe for something, but she doesn't even know that it happened. It's just kind of there. So yeah, it's a little long. They probably could have cut some fat, I think. But I don't care. I would just luxuriate in all of its awfulness and tackiness.
Did you enjoy the cameos?
Seediness.
There's some quick, if you blink, you miss the cameos.
I know John Ostrander what popped up in the beginning. Who else?
Some Guardians folks.
Oh, right.
And then a trauma friend.
Now, I did see my wife caught in the credits that it said special thanks to Trauma, but then I think it did specifically say something about Toxic Avenger. Was Toxic Avenger somewhere in the movie and I missed it?
No, his creator was, though.
Just Trauma was. Yeah. Okay, it's weird they put Toxic Avenger in the credits. Yeah. I got excited.
What about the freedom fighter smoking the cigar? Ruben says. Freedom fighter smoking. Oh yes, there was a couple scenes of gratuitous nudity. I
forgot about that.
I forgot about that too. I was talking to a friend who was
that's always funny.
Who was talking about like not letting his kids watch it, and I was like, well, it's mostly violent, it has a lot of the f bomb a lot, but then he quoted the nudity scenes and a sex scene, and I was like, well, the Harley Quinn sex scene is very comical. Yeah, it's not like they really don't.
It's somewhat chaste for for the movie that it's in.
But then, there is a couple of scenes of quick male and female nudity for comedic effect. Right. I feel. Ruben says, totally agree with you, Derek, regarding some of my points earlier about the villains, I think. Adriana says, Joaquin Casillo was the military or general person, and his close-up was CGI'd. Thank you for letting us know. We'll have to go back and rewatch that. I don't remember that. Louis says, when I saw the Suicide Squad in theaters, someone brought their toddlers to see it. Wow. Oh, my gosh. Adriana also
raising them right.
I also wish that Ron Fuchs voiced King Shark. Is that the actor who
Harley Quinn? Ron Funches did. He does the voice in the Harley show. So and I love Ron Funches, and that is
hilarious.
And it is a great character. However, I would never ever trade Sylvester Stallone as King Shark. It's so sweet.
There was King Shark pulled at my emotional heartstrings
a couple times.
King Shark's originally a Superman villain.
I have a first appearance of King Shark in the back room right now.
Do you remember what issue that
is? It's Superboy number 5 or 9 from the 90s, so leather jacket Superboy.
Yeah, King Shark's been used really well in the animated and the Flash show. He's great. And then now in this movie.
He had him in like Apocalypse War or one of those things too, right? One of those animated things.
Yeah, he's awesome. I think there's so many things you can say about this movie that I want to say, but I don't want to spoil things. Um, I love Idris Elba. That guy could read the phone book. I love Amanda Waller, Viola Davis. She gets to chew the fat as the wall, just in her sinister ways. Um, I feel like there was some scenes where characters might have gone a little bit out of character, but I can't I can't elaborate on that because when you're on the Suicide Squad, you know what Amanda Waller's up to. You know that shady stuff's going on. What else? The action was great. The fighting was great. You kind of don't realize how gory it is, right? I mean, like
I did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, watching it. Yeah,
watching it. But like you think of, I guess I'm misstating. You maybe take for granted like this is much gorier than any superhero movie.
Oh
right?
yeah, I mean,
people being ripped in half.
That's James Gunn. I knew that if they gave him a rated R, he was gonna. I mean, he hasn't gotten a chance to do that since like Slither.
Yeah.
And people, he came from Trauma. This guy is a horror filmmaker, amongst other things. So I'm so happy they let him off the chain as a gore hound and as a horror guy and everything like that. All that stuff made me so happy.
Yeah.
And
there's some really gnarly deaths in this movie.
There's some really gnarly deaths. They make me laugh. Somebody goes, "Ooh!" I go, "Ha ha!" I'm laughing. I'm cackling. Also, I was going to say back to what you were saying about the action. And this is what I wanted. Suicide Squad is typically full of people that are hand-to-hand combatants. Not always. You have Polka Dot Man and things like that. But that was one of the things that really bugged me about the original movie. I'm like, oh my god, you had all these great hand-to-hand. You have such an opportunity for cool fight scenes and choreography and all this kind of stuff, and they just had them fighting like putty men, like CGI rock monster people or something like that.
Which wasn't even originally the thing. It was supposed to be parademons.
Even that, I'm so happy they were fighting paramilitary troops like that. That's what I wanted. I wanted guns. I wanted knife fights. That's what I got. So I was very happy.
And there's one scene in particular with Margot Robbie and Harley Quinn where she does something acrobatic.
And she actually did it. Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
And there's also scenes where there's real rats. Sebastian is sometimes real.
Yeah.
Sebastian the Ratcatcher 2, she still has the show.
Indiana Jones can't watch this movie.
Can't. And what's his name? Bloodsport doesn't like rats either.
Right.
And Ratcatcher 1 was a nice.
Oh yeah, all that stuff. Very heartwarming and nice surprise.
Ruben says first 10 minutes was proven gore. Yep. Luis says I was extremely disappointed that John Cena's role got cut. I didn't see him anywhere in the movie.
Well, I love those jokes.
Can't see him.
Lots of Instagram where it's just they're photoshopping out the face and leaving the helmet.
Yeah, there's a scene where John Cena's just in his underwear.
Yeah.
And dude's a walking action figure.
He's insane. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, Jesse, his arms are too big. Like, no, they're not. Like, they're too big. Yeah. And then there's like a shot with a gratuitous vein. I'm like, you like that too? And she's like, that part's kind of gross.
CJ says Indy didn't like snakes. Maybe it was Indy's dad who didn't like the rats.
I don't think he liked rats either. I guess he dealt with it just fine. Oh my God. Oh my God, Crusade. Ryan. Last Crusade, thank you.
Yeah, and then it was his girlfriend who didn't like bugs in the second one. Tacos need to be eaten. Be right back. Bye, Adam. I also had another comment here that I missed. CJ liked some of the workers. I won't read it word for word, but some of the pushback with Waller. Yeah, that was a cool scene. Luis says Quentin Tarantino must have directed Harley's escape scene. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I like the breaks from reality.
Yes,
just go weird.
Yeah, yes, that's what I want now. Yeah, and at this point, go nuts, go crazy. I that was definitely one of my favorite parts. Actually,
I think we could talk a whole hour about.
I know we may have already. I don't know.
Just to wrap up, Idris Elba said I didn't want to replace Will Smith. He says, I didn't want to be Deadshot. He says, he recognized that there's similarities between the characters, but he's really glad that they created a new character. I mean, he exists in the comics, obviously, but like they didn't. You see that he is a placeholder for Will Smith.
Yeah.
But he is still his own.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think anybody would.
And because he gives all respect and props to Will. So you could see Deadshot and Bloodsport and Deathstroke in a movie together, right?
Yeah.
Like, they'd be awesome.
And they make a joke about it, how they all have the same origin.
Yeah, exactly. And then regarding him shooting Superman with a kryptonite bullet, Idris Elba says that he wants to do a prequel where he stands up, he fights Henry Cavill, and it shows how it's done. So make that movie, please.
He's cool. Do more with him for sure.
Oh, he's amazing. And then the last bit of Superman tie-in Did you see the trailer?
All comes back to Superman.
Always Superman. Did you see the trailer for the Suicide Squad video game coming out?
Oh,
and they're
but I know that it exists.
Yeah, they're going after a bad Superman.
Yeah.
So apparently, James Gunn's original pitch for Suicide Squad
that would have been kind of cool.
Is that they're the Suicide Squad versus Superman?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why didn't you let him do that?
Yeah, that would have been something.
They didn't let Henry Cavill do a full cameo in Shazam. That was his stunt double. At least I was glad to see the costume. And then we could have gotten Superman versus the Suicide Squad, but WB said no to it. Why you guys?
Said you got Suicide Squad versus Starro. I think we made that okay.
Yeah. I would like to see it in the future. I like Idris Elba's idea, though.
Huh?
Bloodsport versus Superman. They left the door open for Will to come back. CJ says, yep, I love that. Yeah, so please keep commenting. Share your Suicide Squad thoughts. I'll start a thread in the group because it looks like there's a lot of Suicide Squad opinions and thoughts out here. I like Yondu crashing a DC movie.
Yeah.
Hated the wig though. Yeah, that's how Savant definitely looks. Okay, so that's enough about the movie. I think. Anything else before we go into the comics?
Nope.
Megan and I are watching the Val movie, the documentary. It's really good on Amazon Prime if anyone watches that. And we finally watched Raya, and that was fun. Raya and the Last Dragon.
Cool.
And that's it. Also, Weasel was good, Luis says.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Can't forget about Weasel. I can't talk about the movie.
Yeah.
His just setup for this first gag in the very beginning of the movie
and the line
is comedy gold.
You know
comedy gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. I watched the second Fear Street movie, but I don't want. We've already talked about everything. But I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
You really enjoyed it. Not yet.
But you're going to.
I'm going to. Yes.
All right. We'll do a wrap up on it when you finish the
film. I'm making my way through.
Sweet. All right. So, hey, is this a comic book store?
I think so.
Comic books?
I think it's a show about comic books. It might be. All right. Cool.
Still pause. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
If you like these movies, guys, come check out the source material. Ryan can recommend. I'm probably not kidding. You can recommend like 4 or 5 really good Suicide Squad books, right?
Whether I have them or not is another question. But I actually had one copy left of Bad Blood, and somebody called. It was kind of neat. Somebody called and was like, "Suicide Squad, what do you got?" And I'm like, "You got to read this one." So that one's gone. So I got to get some more. But get Joker. You were just mentioning, perfect thing to pick up and read. Good. Just perfect, and you get some new characters. You know,
meow meow.
Like Meow Meow. Maybe like Wild Dog. Like my wife knows who Wild Dog is because she watches Arrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know.
Pebbles.
Yeah, just some girl with the thing coming out of her mouth. I don't even know what that is, but it's cool. It's a great comic book, and I still have plenty of copies here.
Yeah, and there's some great graphic novels.
They're going to start reprinting the John Ostrander run soon. It was pretty easy to get for a while, but it's been out of print for a while. But they are going to start reprinting it again, and that is the stuff. That's the source material. That's what James Gunn would tell you. You know, there's a reason why Ostrander is in the movie.
Right. Exactly. All right. Cool. Ruben says he started Fear Street 78 today. Awesome. Let us know what you think. Yeah. So just my general note is, you know, everyone knows Ryan and I love movies in Hollywood, but it does tie into the comic books. Like Stargirl comes on today, and look what Ryan has here. Boom. Stargirl season 2 premieres in a couple hours. It's a great show. If you like that, come and get this. And then like What If is premiering this week.
We're up to issue 5 of Spider Shadow. What if Peter Parker didn't ever ditch the symbiote? What would happen?
So if you like this media, come buy the source material from Ryan, guys.
Yeah.
It's what it's based on. It's usually better.
It's usually better.
It's true. All right.
Want to talk about some comics?
Let's do it.
Okay, cool.
Speaking about source material turning into comics, turning into source material.
Oh, good one. A+, sir.
It's like Inception.
That was very good. Speaking of which, Derek is referring to Batman 89 out today. Sold really well. I actually only have a few copies left of this. I got to see if I can get some more. If you're wondering what is Batman 89, this is, let's see. I'm 36. How old are you, Derek? 40. I was too young to see the first movie in theaters. The VHS was one of those, like, it was like the first VHS in our house, and I wore that thing out. And then I remember going to see Batman Returns at theaters. It would have been the first thing that and Jurassic Park are my two memories from being pretty young, and waiting in a big long line to see a movie and being really excited about it. And you know what? I forgot how much this. I was not anticipating how much this was going to kick. Was going to kick in all my nostalgia. Yeah, no kidding, dude. So this is a comic book that takes place in the Tim Burton Batman movie universe. If you enjoy that stuff and if you have nostalgia for it, I highly recommend it. At first, I was a little put off. The artwork is great. The artwork is not bad, but I was looking for something a little bit more Tim Burton-y, a little bit more like the cover, perhaps. But once I read it, it all faded away. The guy who writes this is the original screenwriter.
Yeah, I heard that. Is that true?
This was somebody told me, so I'm just going on what other people said. But very much feels like it. It feels like it has the tone and verve of the original movie. And it's a lot of fun stuff in here. I mean, Harvey Dent really doesn't do much in the original film.
It was Billy D. Williams.
It was Billy D. Williams, which is really cool. And in this one, he will. So we're gonna see the birth of the Tim Burton movie verse of Two-Face, right? So that's what you get in this comic book. And so I do recommend. Here's my Batman '89 review. It's a 6-issue miniseries, by the way. If you've never seen a Tim Burton movie, I'm not necessarily sure that this is the comic book that you have to run to get. But if you have even a little bit of nostalgia for Batman, Tim Burton Batman stuff, you should check it out. I highly recommend it.
Robert Moreno's watching. Hey, Robert. He says, "Yep, Sam Hamm." I remember that name for the credits. Very good. Louis says, does anyone else remember when McDonald's had to apologize for partnering with Batman Returns for the Happy Meals because of how dark the movie was? Yes.
Yeah, dude.
That movie was awesome.
I came this close, and by this close I mean this close because I don't have time. But after reading this, I really was like, "Is this streaming?" I haven't watched this in years.
On HBO Max, I think.
I might make some time to go revisit this movie, because of this comic. So there you go. Next up from DC Comics, we have the continuation of the revival of the Milestone sub-imprint of DC Comics, the time Hardware, basically Milestone's version of Iron Man. What's really cool about this one is that it is drawn by Dennis Cohen and inked by Bill Sienkiewicz. So if you loved the artwork in the Question Black Label miniseries more recently, you should check this out. I did not get a chance to read it. Completely forgot to take it home with me. But I love Dennis Cohen and Sienkiewicz. I will try to make some time to read this. And I really enjoyed Icon and Rocket, which is the last Milestone book that came out.
Yeah, and Static's been good too. So if you guys want to see more of these characters and support this imprint, buy these books. They're good stories. Like this
1-in-25 ratio variant that I'm not sure who the artist is, and I'm not sure who it's for, but I dig it. It's very anime, very manga. I think it's super cool. We're letting this one. This is selling for about 20, 25, $30 online. I'm going to let it go for 15. If anybody is trying to get those milestone covers.
I love the artwork in Hardware and Blood Syndicate from back in the day because it just looked very sharp.
Yeah.
As in like the edges, and it just seemed like anybody could get shot at any moment.
Yeah, I wish that they would. I wish that they would reprint the original Milestone stuff. Hopefully that's on the way soon.
Yeah,
so that stuff's more easily accessible. Is Rocket still pregnant? Not in this. This is like a total new reboot.
I
this
think that's
the Milestone
Young Justice or the cartoon. That's
is she in they included her in the. That's cool. Yeah. I should watch that show.
CJ says, "Yeah, I'm on Batman '89. Yeah, for sure."
A little bit more Batman for you. We have John Ridley's I Am Batman #0. This is, of course, more stuff spinning out of the future state, and then more recently, help me out here. What was the John Ridley Batman? Next Batman. Thank you.
So, what is this costume? This is new. It almost looks like the Gordon costume, right? And a mix with Batwing a little bit.
Yeah, well, Batwing is definitely what I was thinking.
But it's different. It's blue. It's cool.
Not sure. Got to read it to find out. I did not read this one either. But issue 0. I wonder why it's issue 0. Why not just issue 1? In any case, if you've been enjoying the John Ridley stuff, Travel Foreman too, by the way, I haven't seen any artwork from him in a long time, which is really cool. We got a really neat cardstock cover here. Very moody. One thing that kind of sets him apart is that his cowl goes all the way down, no chin exposure, and then a really great Federici 1 in 25 ratio variant. This one's going for a little bit more money than the other 1 in 25s, but I'm keeping it at 25, keeping it at ratio price.
What's really cool about the John Ridley stuff is that you get a really good family dynamic with the
The
Fox
brother and
yeah, so the brothers and the dad and Tam, the sisters and stuff. So uh, it's a good family drama without being annoying with the drama. It's like you want to see what's going to happen. And it's cool because Lucius Fox is controlling Wayne
yeah.
Enterprises now, so he's got the keys to the kingdom.
I was gonna. One of my many things was maybe I gotta catch up on Batman and see what James Tynion's doing. Except he's leaving, so I don't know.
CJ asks, "What was that milestone book?" That was
Hardware. CJ, if you want me to set one of those aside for you, shoot me an email, buddy. You don't need to worry about pull box.
Luis. John Ridley, the man who gave us the greatest Superman moment of all time. Pipes.
Oh boy, never ever get away from it.
You, John Ridley.
Okay, some quick hits here just to remind you. Joker's up to issue 6, which I thought this was initially supposed to be a miniseries. Maybe I thought wrong, or maybe they just decided it sold too well to.
You went too quick on that. Let me see that.
Oh, sorry about that, buddy. Here you go.
Cool.
Okay. And then we got another new series this week. We got Pennyworth. Alfred's taking center stage here. I ordered quite a few of the cardstock cover because this is a local artist. This is Juan Gadan, who I've never met personally, but I really like his stuff. He has he did some work for Venom in between some of the bigger story arcs, and just want to support the homie. He's friends of friends who are also local artists. Again, didn't read this. Sorry, guys, but looks like some secret agent stuff. I don't know what's going on. Continuity wise, is Alfred now and ever has been a former MI6 secret agent kind of deal.
So that's a 7-issue miniseries. Can you hold up the other cover?
Oh yeah,
as well. Oh look, that's older. So that depiction of him looks like the actor from the TV show. So do you know if this is connected to the Epics?
Perhaps. Oh, yeah. Is there a show called Pennyworth?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I just thought they were doing a cool book. No, I had no idea. But the cover's cool. Got some like, what's the book it made me think of? Never mind.
It's James Bond.
Yeah, it's totally James Bond going on. But mostly, like I said, even if nobody buys these, Juan Gadan, he does. He's drawing the inside, by the way, and that cover as well. And just wanted to support the local. Okay, that's it for DC Comics. Is that okay with you? There were no Superman books this week, Derek. No, there's no Superman. No Justice League. Well, no, there's no Justice League. Nope. It's a very light, very, very light week. Okay, let's move on to the indies, which is there also not a lot. So I'm going to show you some cool alternate covers. I don't typically always get the Bitterroot movie homage covers, but I love Seven Samurai, and I thought that was just a very cool cover, and I thought other people would think the same. So I do have a few of these. They will be on the shelf tomorrow. Bitterroot up to issue 15. Check that out. Okay. Should I save this for last? It doesn't matter. Here's my pick of the week.
Oh, cool.
Campisi, which is actually probably how you're supposed to say it. So this is written by the same gentleman who did Kaiju Score, which caught a little bit of fire lately because it got announced that it got option for a movie or TV show or something. And he is continuing to do crime, kind of pulpy crime stuff mixed with kaiju monster kind of stuff. And this also wasn't exactly what I was expecting. So imagine a some sort of dragon story that takes place in like Hell's Kitchen. That's what we're doing here. And it's a little bit more. It's a lot. I don't want to spoil the book. The main character he's a fixer. That's not the right word, but everybody loves him. He knows everybody in the neighborhood, but he also works for like the local mob boss. And so his job is to go around and make sure everybody pays up, stays in shape, doesn't get in trouble, because he doesn't want his boss to ever go around and hurt any of these people. So he goes around and he keeps people out of the hood. And if somebody's maybe behind in their payments or something like that, he goes and helps out and tries to make sure that they get it under control. Because if he doesn't, his mob boss is going to send out the horrible big boys to go, collect or, break some fingers and whatnot. At the same time, we have a dual storyline of a dragon. There was a dragon society way back in the day. It's some very Game of Thrones-esque stuff here. And they're like not animals. They're kind of like intelligent creatures. And they get sort of almost taken to the brink of extinction by these jerk jerkwad medieval knight folks. So there's not many dragons left anymore, but they do pop up from time to time. This one happens to roost in this version of Hell's Kitchen, and it seems to not be bothering anybody. It just hangs out in a construction site. And that's all I'll say about it. But actually, this cover kind of I thought it was going to be like a team up thing. That's always what happens, right? You have a dragon and then another person that, like, and then they become friends or, something like that. It's actually the exact opposite. By the end of the book, basically our main character are kind of like well-to-do. Hey, Mr. Robinson, how's it going? That guy. He's like, I've just made this dragon my next project. Cause he's messing up my hood. So I really liked it. It's a lot of fun. Ray said something about TPs earlier. We have plenty of kaiju score here, which is a heist comic book. But the plan is to try to make the score happen right when they know a Godzilla type creature is going to make landfall in the city where that museum is. So that's what this guy likes to do, I guess. Apparently, is kind of take some fantastical animal element and mix it with some kind of like, a little pulpy crime thing. And I think it's really cool. And I love the artwork.
Ruben said, time to go watch Stargirl. You don't DVR it, Ruben? Hope to see you guys next week when I'm healthy again and not a walking petri dish. Yes, please get healthy. We hope to see you again soon, Mr. Ruben. Rick Rock 34 has a question via Twitch. Hello, Twitch watchers. Was there a Nice House #1 third print that came out this week?
Yes, I'm going to get to it. But if you're asking about the ratio variants, they're already spoken for. But I am going to. There is a third printing for the first issue, and I have an ample amount of copies on the shelf. And that's coming up actually.
Is it different? Did they do a different looking cover?
It's a little bit different, but I think it's mostly just people that are trying to collect all the different printings. But also, I was going to wait till I got to it, but here, why not? Here we go. So I have all 3 issues. So if you're not too picky about what printing you're getting and you just want to get caught up and read the story, I do have all 3 issues on the shelf. You can get caught up tomorrow, as soon as tomorrow. If you're like, I'm going to get caught up. I missed this book because we kept selling out of the first issue. So I'm going to make a point to sit down and read these 3 issues. So I'm on the same page as everyone else. But yes,
shout out to our boy Eddie. He did his first TikTok talking about how he liked that series.
Oh, one thing actually about the covers being different that somebody told me, each one is meant to look like it's like decaying. So each new printing looks like it's more torn up and messed up, which is pretty cool. So that's Nice House on the Lake.
Which is about what?
I don't know yet.
So it's
go for it.
I guess without spoiling too much, it's people on a nice house on the lake, like the title says, and there might be something going on with the outside world that they cannot escape from.
It's pretty vague.
Post-apocalyptic.
It has a nice house in it.
Yes, indeed. It's like Snakes on the Plane.
Yeah. Actually, it sounds like This Is the End.
Yeah.
Back to Campisi just real quick. There is a 1 in 15 ratio variant for $9.99 if somebody wants to pick that up. If nobody does, maybe I'll take it home. We have the next issue of Eve. We're up to issue 4. I am not keeping up with demand on this book. I only have like 2 or 3 copies for the shelf. Here's a 1 in 10 ratio variant by John Bowie Myers for $9.99, real cheap. That's a really cool book. I really enjoyed the first issue, and a lot of people keep asking for it after I've done my ordering, and I'm not keeping up with it. So I'm going to see if I can get some more issue 4s tonight so we can get some soon. Here's your chance to talk about Masters of the Universe. We got issue 2. Oh, cool. This is the prequel to the current Netflix series that's going on that's been a big to-do in people's conversations lately. One thing that's really cool about this one is check it out. Bill Sienkiewicz drawing He-Man. You love to see it.
Oh, so cool.
On the B cover here.
So what was cool about that first issue was that they introduced King Grayskull, at least their version of him. I guess King Grayskull had popped out in the 2000s version or a different version of the He-Man show. And so that kind of this book kind of ties into the mythology of what's happening in the animated. The animated had the first 5 episodes drop on Netflix. It was very polarizing because it's mostly about Tila, and I think they just would have
until the next season or something. Yeah, right?
5 more episodes are coming out. If they would have just marketed it that way, I think maybe people wouldn't have had such an issue. But I really did enjoy the first issue. The comic book is definitely He-Man centered,
Dude. This is my first time flipping any of these open. The artwork is great.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's got a great color palette. It's really well drawn.
and Skeletor looks cool. Evil Lynn looks cool in this. So I really enjoyed the first issue. What's cool about the animated series, the first episode, like, just draws you right in back. Is that Hordak right there? That's awesome. That's She-Ra's villain, Hordak. It really, the first episode of the animated series just really brings you back into where you left off in the comic book. And then big things happen in the first episode that changed the status quo, and then there's a bit of a flash forward. But this series is very He-Man centered and takes place before the first episode of the new animated.
I got to check in with Ray real quick. Yeah, he came in and talked a lot about He-Man last week. He just made me smile. He says 5 episodes left. Quit hating when you find out it's all a swerve. Get in now, Marks. Classic Ray.
I don't even know what can you translate what that meant?
I think he's saying that the second half is going. He thinks that the second half is going to surprise everybody.
Okay.
He thinks the trajectory will completely change.
I think that's already true because Kevin Smith has come out and
right
made Netflix mad by saying, "Hey, this, and this is actually what's going to happen, guys.
Yeah,
calm down."
Yeah. Anything else on He-Man?
CJ says first issue of He-Man was good, stunning art. Yeah, there's just a lot of cool He-Man stuff, right? Because it's been published by Marvel before, correct? Dark Horse, DC, Dark Horse now.
The comics came with the figures initially.
Yeah, originally it was a comic book toy line, and then a couple different animations. That 80s movie. Do you love the movie, Ryan, like I do?
I mean, I remember seeing it when I was a kid. It's been a while since I've seen it.
And Courtney Cox.
I would love to watch that, actually.
Smoke show, Courtney Cox. So beautiful in the 80s. Still beautiful now. But yeah, it's just kind of funny when you think about this property. There's just a lot of content, and they're making more. They're working on a live action movie, and they're working on a kids animated. But a lot of cool comic book content out there. I really liked the Masters of the Universe meets Injustice. Is that still around in trade?
Yes, I don't know if I have it, but yeah, they did a lot of He-Man crossovers. They did a Justice League versus He-Man.
Yeah, that
stuff.
was Injustice. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there was supposed to be a TMNT He-Man.
Yeah,
it got canceled.
The artwork looks so good.
Yeah, but the artist has been posted. You can check out his art on Instagram.
CJ says, "I think Dolph can still do it." There you go.
Dolph can get it.
All right, what's next?
Moving right along, we have a new Star Wars High Republic Adventures book. I'm not sure if this is a one-shot or a series. Let me just flip to the end. And well, it says end of chapter 1, so I guess we got more coming. This is called The Monster of Temple Peak. And y'all know that I'm not quite as hip on the High Republic stuff, what's going on with it. But I people did a very good job pre-ordering this. It's like I got a lot of our Star Wars folks on board with it before I had to put in my order. I have a few copies left for the shelf. So check that out if you're enjoying the High Republic stuff that's been going on. The art in this looks really good, actually. Okay. And along with that, thank you again, Ray. He says, get on the pull list, folks. If you don't know you are missing out, never miss what you want every month. There's no reason to. Yep, there's no reason to. It's just a little bit of forward thinking. Also, a 1 in 25 ratio variant for the main Star Wars High Republic. Issue 8's out this week. And I just wanted to bring this up because this is my buddy, George's Janty. It's fun to see his artwork on covers. Friend of mine, I haven't seen him in a while. Love his artwork. Yeah, a big Buffy artist, among a lot of other things, and pretty cool to see his artwork on the new Star Wars book. $19.99 for the 1 in 25 ratio variant here for Star Wars Republic number 8. We're gonna move on to Marvel. And we got a new book called Avengers Tech On Avengers. Is that the title? Avengers Tech On Avengers. I didn't notice that before.
No, that's nothing to do with the other.
No, apparently not. But
what
I guess
the other one called Avengers
Mech Strike.
Mech Strike.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of Avengers like mech stuff kind of going on. I did not read this one either. The cover's really cool.
The artwork was pretty neat too.
Yeah. This is written by Jim Zub though. He's always a lot of fun. Always a very fun scripter. The one I went heavy on here is, of course, Peach Momoko. Very cool Peach Momoko cover here.
Oh, that's sick. I didn't even know that existed. See, I'm here several days a week, and I try to be a good boy, and I still discover new things from these shows. Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome. And then this one here that looks like a ad for Marvel versus Capcom or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Now that I see this cover in person, I probably would have gotten a few more of these, but I only got a couple. Okay, next up, we have Captain Marvel 31, which don't really get Captain Marvel for the wall anymore, but I had to get some shelf copies of the continuing beautiful covers here by Inyuk Lee Inyuk.
Last week he had Hulk.
We saw Hulk, Psylocke,
Psylocke on Hellions,
Armor, the character Armor, and
Avengers with Jimmy Woo.
Yes, Jimmy Woo. Thank you.
So 4 last week.
And these are great. I'm not even the biggest Lee and Yuck guy, but I got to take my hat off to him.
Oh, so cool.
These look fantastic. And then also for the kids that don't like the trade dress, that's the 1 in 50 ratio variant, textless ratio variant. This is actually going for a bit more than $60, but $60. That's about what I priced the other ones at. 40, 50, 60. It's coming out soon. I think this will be a hot little number when she blows up on. I almost said Marvel Now. Disney Plus.
Laura Pena says, "Hello, wonderful people." Hello,
hi there.
Laura.
Hi. You're wonderful. Okay, almost there. Next up, we have Defenders #1, new series. Okay, what do I say about this book? First of all, if you're a Doctor Strange fan, don't miss it. It is a Doctor Strange book through and through.
Calling Wendy Levin.
She's already read it, and she's already given it a ringing endorsement. So I'm sure you'll hear more from her this week. This time the team is, I'm not familiar with all these guys. We got Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer, of course. This is Harpy, who's a character you might not know unless you're reading Immortal Hulk, but that's Hulk's girlfriend. Wife, actually. And then these other two, no idea. I think this guy popped up in like Marvel 1001 and Incoming a while ago. It was a couple of years ago, I think. And then this character, I have no idea. But none of that matters. This is what's up. Open this book up and look at this psychedelic, amazing, really cool, off the wall acid trip artwork by Javier Rodriguez. And if you dig it, then pick it up. It's as simple as that. Yeah, but if you're a Doctor Strange fan, do not miss it at all. It's a Doctor Strange book for sure.
Does it tie in the main continuity?
It's supposed to. I mean, it's a Marvel book. All Marvel books connect, right?
But they're killing.
I know. I don't know how that works. You're gonna have to have somebody else look at this page. It's really good. And then, of course, another, in my opinion, just one of the best she's done. Just a gorgeous Peach Momoko Silver Surfer cover. Even if you're not going to read the book and you're just a collector, come on. If you got Silver Surfer books you're putting in your box, you got to grab this one. Beautiful book. Okay, and more kind of Silver Surfer adjacent stuff. We got Fantastic Four Life Story issue 3. They are now up to the 80s.
Ooh, my favorite decade.
So the alternate cover is pretty fun here. You got Sue and Johnny in some acid wash jeans, and
very Breakfast Club looking. Kind of.
Yeah, definitely. And in the 4 here, you can't really tell, but it's got little triangles and squigglies that you remember having in your parachute pants. That's it for comics. I'm going to move on to graphic novels, unless we have some comments or anything like that.
No, I think we're good.
Okay, let's bring it home. Let's bring it on home, so I can go home. Oh my God, it's not 9:00 yet. Okay. Just want to remind everybody, we do get books for kids. We do get manga. We have a new book this week called Pokemon Sword and Shield, which from the very few packs of Pokemon cards we have had, I think this is the most recent set or whatever it is out. Don't ask me to tell you anything about Pokemon. I don't know. But if your kids are into it, these are real cheap, cute little books here. Only $5, man. Real, keep them busy for 15 minutes. We also have Full Metal Alchemist, the hardcover edition or Full Metal edition, volume 14. These have been pretty popular. Manga is blowing up. It is coming back. Yeah, it really is. It was something that was so hot and then it went away, and now it is coming back. It's pretty cool.
Luis thought you said ass-washed jeans.
Yes, ass-washed jeans. That's what I said.
Instead of acid-washed?
No, who wants to wear acid-washed jeans? I like all my jeans washed in ass.
Yeah, got to be very clean, guys.
More kids' books here. This is one I just thought looked pretty neat. It's called Lily Van Helsing. Of course, anything that's like a little vampire hunter or whatever, Ryan's going to want to try to grab. Looks pretty cute. In the vein, also of Monster Elementary. Shout out to that creative team who was always a friend of the store. And look forward to seeing them again. Hopefully, when the world starts getting back to normal.
Laura says, "Can confirm Sword and Shield was the most current game."
Good. There we go. See, I know things sometimes. New book from Seismic Press. I think this is the all ages line from Aftershock. Everybody's getting into kids books. This one's called Rainbow Bridge, so maybe it's Viking stuff. It says losing a pet is hard, but what if you could have one last adventure together? I don't want to read that. That sounds heartbreaking. I'm sure it's wonderful, but oh no, I'm staying away from that one. Yeah, pretty cute. Some doggo action there. Here was a really neat one. This actually came out in issues here, and we sold a few. It's an all ages book, kind of a Tarzan meets Conan, but for all ages. Jonna and the Impossible Monsters. This is drawn by Chris Samney, the incomparable Chris Samney, and he worked on it with his wife. I think her name is Laura Samney. So yeah, if you're into really good cartooning, check it out. And if you want to give your kids some good comic books, check it out.
Sven from Twitch says, "Wasn't that the premise for Pet Cemetery?"
I don't want to be buried. What was the question? Oh yeah. Yes, I heard the question in retrospect. Okay, we also have X-Men by John Hickman, Volume 3. So this is the stuff that I think immediately follows X of. I thought I knew, but I don't. Maybe this is the stuff that either leads up to X of Swords or comes right after X of Swords. I think this stuff comes after X of Swords. In any case, X-Men by John Hickman, Volume 3. We have the next volume of Nick Spencer's Amazing Spider-Man featuring that new outfit.
Hey, cool.
Patrick Gleason. We have Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon, which is Ryan and Annie endorsed. Wow. Very, very, very unlikely endorsement there from Annie. I really enjoyed, especially the artwork here. I think his name is Dave Wachter. I wasn't familiar before, but now I'm paying attention. It's also written by Larry Hama, which is pretty cool. Some really dope artwork in this book, guys. Really cool Kung Fu Marvel comic. Something to whet your appetite before Shang-Chi comes out. And lastly, we have Dead End Kids, The Suburban Job, follow up to Dead End Kids, book by a local writer, Frank Gogol, actually. We talked about getting into the store at some point or another. And lastly, Ryan's pick, but again, only if you're like Ryan and you like this kind of stuff. We have a new book drawn by Eric Powell, full graphic novel, illustrated by Eric Powell, written by Harold Schechter. Not familiar. Did you hear what Eddie Gain done? So you can pretty much assume what you're getting into with this book. I'll see if I can find some pages that are okay to show. Nah, it's fine. Just absolutely gorgeous, moody lighting from Eric Powell. He's one of my all-time favorite artists. And if you're into any kind of true crime stuff, you got to check this out. Pairs really well with Green River Killer. But if you're not into that, stay far, far away. It is Eddie. If you don't know who again is, I'm not going to tell you all about him, but he's the stuff of nightmares, and he was sort of the inspiration for all kinds of stuff, including Psycho and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So Eric Powell doing anything having to do with historical serial killers, you can bet that I'm on board. And that is everything that's fit to print or talk about on a live Tuesday unboxing show.
That's awesome. Very good. True Crime Comics, take my money now, Laura says. Matt is on the stream. Hello, Matt. I would not let Ed Gein cat sit my cats.
Yeah.
Yes, this is sick. Ed Gein.
Cody said he heard he made some cool masks. That's pretty funny.
Oh, no. Texas Chainsaw style. Adam says, Rainbow Bridge. Not sure if I want to read that. Yeah, sounds sad. Matt, an icon of depravity. Yeah, so I think that's a show, buddy.
I think that's a pretty successful show.
I normally have lots of fun questions, but I don't have a lot of fun questions.
Or we could go home.
We could go home. Yes, indeed. Let me think of one fun one, and we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Well, sure. I asked Suicide Squad questions last week.
You did.
So, What If is coming out this week.
Okay.
So,
what's a what if story?
What is a what if story that you'd like to? We were talking off air about how Disney couldn't do the spider body horror one where Peter Parker turns into a real spider.
I want to do, okay, here, I got a fun, it's a stupid answer, but here's my answer. I want to do a what if Batman's parents were never shot. It's just a really boring comic where you see him grow up to being just a little asshole socialite person, completely opposite of everything he becomes, and nobody likes it at all.
I like it.
There you go.
Very good.
It's just called Affluence, the comic.
There we go. He turns into like Patrick Bateman.
Yeah. Thank you. You were good collaborators, Derek.
I too want to answer DC, but like I'm such a DC guy, so I'm trying to do a Marvel thing here.
Right. Thanks for the reminder on the dollar bin stuff, but we did talk about it earlier in the show, bud. But yeah, one more time. Yes, I am getting closer to breaking into our storage bin and getting it organized and starting to bring that stuff here in the store. It's coming. I'm working on it. Baby steps. Some of those baby steps I posted on Instagram recently, but I think people were able to see it on Facebook also.
Ooh, cool. I think it would be cool to see a Thanos story if he was good.
Snaps his fingers and it's funny.
Doubles the amount of resources.
He's so full of poop because it's like, oh, well, there's too many people, so let's cut it down by half, right? But couldn't you just as easily double the amount of resources?
Yeah. More water.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah. Thanos for good would be a cool storyline.
Of course, we have somebody in here that's like, Thanos was for good. Thanos was right.
Oh, jeez. And then I don't want to make Wendy upset. But
she's not here.
I think what would be a cool story is if you continued the next level of Iron Man Demon in the Bottle and like, he didn't get better.
Okay.
Like what if it maintained a continuing problem?
So functional alcoholic Iron Man.
The Avengers are like Tony.
Avengers, the intervention.
So yeah, I like to see that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm Derek Easley. Hello, everybody. Derek Easley Entertainment. Cut to me real quick. I'm sunburned because Megan and I were doing a video for an athletic wear company, and we were shooting it out by the Queen Mary. So I got a bit of a sunburn. Matt Schaefer says, yes, Demon in a Bottle. Louis says, I want a what-if story where Superman grew up in a bad neighborhood and became a gang member. Yes, please. We'd love to hear your guys' what-if stories, or Elseworlds, as DC would say.
Thank you, guys, on Instagram.
Instagram's been...
But they're just saying thank you and bye and stuff.
Thank you. So Megan and I do post-production, editing, video, photography, the whole 9 yards. So if you ever need anything, you can hit us up. Our information is right there on the screen. Someone's phone's ringing. Is it mine?
I was getting potential spam.
Hey, Derek. Karen says hi. Hey, Karen. Hey, Robert. We got to take you guys out to dinner. Robert is awesome in that he recommended me and Megan to Karen to the Long Beach Museum of Art, and we've had a lot of fun working on a couple big projects, and congrats to them to the awesome auction. Reason you're in? Oh no, here we are. So yeah, Robert is a really cool guy, as is Karen, a super awesome gal, and I'd love to hang out with you guys and talk about movies and art and all the cool things. Laura says, a what if story where there are no spam calls regarding your car's extended warranty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm getting calls about my student loans, and I'm like, I don't owe any money for student loans. Stop calling me. I don't know why.
Eventually, they call somebody that they convince that they do have student loans, and then start giving them money.
Net. Yep. So yeah, that's what me and Megan do, and we're really busy, but we're always looking for new customers, and we're always looking to create new content. We've been posting a lot on the Facebook, on the Instagram, Snapchat. We post these streams to multiple things, and we'll be shooting some videos in store tomorrow. Probably get some Wendy and Steve, hopefully, content. So if you guys ever have any ideas for videos and stuff for the Pulp Fiction digital world or video world, please hit us up. Let us know. We also appreciate if you join the Facebook group and post your pictures, your memes, your reviews, your collections, all that. We love you guys being interactive and kind and nice to the family. Robert says, oh, thank you, sir. Adam says, Elseworlds idea, Stargirl gets the Green Lantern ring instead of Kyle. That's cool. Bob Hi, Bob. How you doing? Bob says, how about if the Kents never found infant Kal-El because the car got ran over by a nail? He says, bye, everyone. Yes, very good.
Great idea.
Very good. Great idea. So please join the group. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. And I know that there's some awesome people in the community of Pulp Fiction who are doing their own podcasts and videos. So we'd love to connect with you guys and interview you and get you involved in some of the streams or do some Snapchats. No, it's not Snapchats. TikToks with you. We should be doing Snapchat. Do you know I have 10,000 followers on Snapchat, right? I'm a micro influencer on Snapchat. I don't know. I don't even know why.
A micro influencer? Is that what you said?
A micro influencer is someone who has 10 to 15,000.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
They actually get targeted by companies. So I'm a micro.
You're a target.
I'm kind of a big deal on Snapchat. Right? Hot take: DC is kind of kicking Marvel's butt. CJ says, "CJ, did you just become my new favorite person?" True story. All right, we're gonna flip it back to Ryan. There is the owner, the proprietor, the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Skinner. Ryan, are you the alpha rookie?
Oh, somebody asked that?
No.
Okay.
Was that DC Comics on the phone?
DC Comics is always trying to call me.
Looks like you got some more Instagram comments there.
Just a few things here. Red Sun, gnarly Superman ever. Ryan looks hungry. Feed Ryan now. Cody wants to see Iron Man hooked on opioids. He just falls asleep mid-fight.
Oh, no.
And how about Bruce Wayne becoming a pre-shrapnel Tony Stark in the What If?
Ooh, that's cool.
And then Ray wants to remind us that Thanos being good was in Donny Cates' run as his nightmare.
Oh, there we go. Cool. Thank you.
And also a What If Wolverine was Lord of the Vampires was a cool issue. And that's it.
Yeah, what if the whole Bat family didn't have tragedy? Like, what if all their parents
They're all just well-adjusted people.
They're all just happy people.
Yeah, well, Dick Grayson's a happy, well-adjusted person.
That's true. Hey, you just found out he's got a sister.
She doesn't seem so well-adjusted.
No. And Lois Lane just got a brother. You get a sibling. You get a sibling.
Everybody gets a long-lost. Bruce Wayne had a long-lost sibling too, but everybody forgot about it.
Yeah, true story. All right, my friend. We'll see you tomorrow. New Comics Wednesday. Thank you so much.
See you tomorrow,
everybody.
Good night.
Goodbye.